beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome, welcome. My name is Georgia. So as you can tell from the title, we are going to do a recap and a review of a new show that is on the OWN network. Season 1, episode 1 aired recently. And I said, let me watch this and see, what it's about. It's from, like I said, the OWN network, and one of the executive producers is Carlos King. And if you know Carlos King, he also does Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage Detroit, and I believe there's one more that he does. So he's bringing us this show, and let me just read a little bit from the OWN website what the show is about. So the name of the show, first of all, is called Family Empire Houston, and it follows the Braden family across 4 generations of Black excellence in Houston, Texas. Sister cousins Nicole, Jamisha, and Jaquita have a collective dream to follow in the footsteps of their beloved grandmother, Oscarine, a real estate entrepreneur who built the family empire from the ground up and passed down this grit and determination to her children and grandchildren. In pursuing their legacy, tensions may rise, but the Bradens are family and always find a way back to each other. So that is what the show is basically about. It's about a family in Houston, Texas, who has a real estate firm, a real estate company, and it was started with the matriarch and the patriarch of the family, Oscarine matriarch, and Frank patriarch of the family. Frank has passed away, so Oscarine is the one running things right now with the help of her children and her grandchildren. So I'm gonna put a picture of the family tree on the screen at some point during this review, and you will see how big this family is. One thing I must say off the bat, first off, all these people in the family are beautiful, beautiful women, handsome men, and it's really good to see a collective like this, something positive coming from just another positive show for us to watch. So like I said, it is 4 generations. The name of it is Family Empire Houston, Season 1, Episode 1, and it's called Meet the Bradens. So the show start off with some of the sister cousins. You know how you grow up with family so close, and instead of saying, this is my cousin, this is my cousin, you just say, this is my sister, this is my brother, stuff like that. So we are introduced in the first few minutes. We are introduced to Jarmisha, and of course we have each sister or cousin telling what's the personality of the other one. So Jarmisha is considered, she is from the generation 2. We have generation 1 and generation 2, and we meet generation 2 first. So Jarmisha is considered overly dramatic. We also have Nicole, who is very business driven. She's a no nonsense kind of lady. Let's get to the money. Let's get to this. Let's work. Let's get it done. She is married to Larry. And the thing about this, most of the family members, most of them work with the company, with the real estate company. The only family member that don't work with the real estate company is Larry. And we're going to get into that later on. But we have Nicole. She's married to Larry. Then we have Jaquita. Her sisters say that she's loose with the mouth. Then we have Lakeisha, who considered herself the black sheep of the family. And then we have Monet. So we're going to we're going to get into more with all the ladies in a little bit. We don't see much of Monet this episode or really get into it about Monet, but the other ladies we do get to see and know. So like I said, the company was started with Frank and Oscarine Braden, and they started the company when they said they were in their 20s, and I believe this is in South Houston. I'm not too familiar with Texas, but I believe they started it in South Houston. And They started buying up properties in their early 20s. They said they bought up land, they bought up buildings, they bought up businesses. Because they, like they say in America, the way to wealth is through real estate. And they stayed true to that. And with that, they built the business and had everyone working with the business. All the aunts and uncles, daughters, everybody is working. So we have generation 1, where we have the moms, the aunt, and the uncles. So, all right, so we get a quick overview of what the family is about. Of course, we'll get more into it as we go on throughout the season. So, the first scene, we are getting ready. We are in the firm now, and we are getting ready for our weekly meeting. So, that's a good thing. You do a weekly meeting, and if you need to do some little ones in between, then you do it. So, we have Nicole comes in, and she tells everybody we're starting our meeting in 10 minutes. So, whatever you need to do to get ready, to get prepped, get it done, and let's get our meeting going. So at the meeting, we find out a little bit more about who is it that brought in all those listings. I believe it was Jaquita. Jaquita worked as a pharmacist. And she said she brought in more money as a part-time real estate agent than she was making as a pharmacist. So she gave that up and became a full-time real estate agent. I believe she's now a broker, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm wondering if they also do if there's part of the company that do title holdings, because they look like they do everything. They said they started out the company 5 years ago. I mean, we have where the matriarch and patriarch Frank and Oscarine was buying real estate all over the place. However, they decided to start a real estate company 5 years ago. Grandparents paid for the girls to do their I think it's 120 hours you got to do. And then for them to take the exam, you got to pay a fee and everything. So they paid for them to do it, and they started out the real estate company 5 years ago. And they started out with 5 of them. I believe it was 3 of the girls, 1 uncle, and 1 aunt. And they started, and now 5 years later, they are at 98 agents working for the company. And they are projected to do $52 million in volume for the year. I'm not sure if this was filmed. I think it was filmed in 2023. So they were projected to do $52 million in volume in 2023, and that's a lot of money. And one person, Jaquita, brought in 19 new listings. That is awesome. That's a lot of real estate right there. 19 new listings for one agent. Wow. So we don't know if those were all rentals, if they were sales. I'm not sure exactly. They didn't break it down exactly how the company's done. We do know that Nicole does luxury listing, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. But we don't know if this is a combination of land, of actual buildings, rentals, apartment rentals, whatever. We're not sure, but Houston is building. I live in New York, and I hear so many people moving there. So they're moving out of New York, and they're heading down to Houston, Texas. So we know that it is growing very fast. They keep telling us, don't come to Atlanta. Atlanta is full. So find someplace else to go. And Houston, Texas is where people are heading. So yeah. So like I said, Jaquita, I'm sorry if I mess up these names. I'm still learning them. Jaquita brought in 19 new listings, and that is awesome. So they're also talking about the company's photo shoot. They haven't taken a photo in 4 years. So I guess, when they started the company, they did a company photo shoot with the 5 agents. And now that they're at 98, they want to take another photo shoot to update the company website. So they are planning to take a group photo, and the person who's going to be doing it is Jaquita's husband, Chris. He's a content creator and does marketing for the office, as well as building his own company. So we have Nicole asking Jaquita, is your hubby ready to go? And she's like, yep, let's do this. We're ready to go. So after that meeting now, Um, they're saying that they need to get ready to have dinner at, I believe they are going to Jamisha's house for dinner. And this is where we get to meet majority of the family. I mean, everybody came in. That house was packed. It was beautiful to see everybody breaking bread together. There was a little bit of tension that we noticed, and it was addressed between Nicole and Lakeisha. So they go into explain that Nicole and Lakeisha are sisters. They have the same dad and different mom. And I believe Nicole and Lakeisha are the same age or very close in age. So we know what that's saying right there, right? So Nicole kind of addressed it in the confessional. It's like, you know, we do have like a tense relationship, and it's because we grew up different. So I don't know what she meant by that, but I'm assuming that Daddy stepped out on Nicole's mother, and here we have Lakeisha, and because of that, you know, there's tension between the girls. Daddy did not introduce them as sisters. It's left up to them to find their way to each other, which is not good. You know, if you're gonna come and say, and Lakeisha did bring it up. She said, growing up, I wasn't introduced to people to say, this is your cousin, this is your sister, this is your grandma, this is your aunt, or whatever. So of course she's gonna feel like the black sheep of the family. And we find out that Lakeisha lost her mother recently, right after the patriarch of the family passed away. Frank passed away, then Lakeisha lost her mother as well. Okay, so Lakeisha feels like the black sheep of the family, even though she does come to family dinners and stuff. We see Nicole's mother. She's also at the family dinner. She does speak to Lakeisha. Look like they have a not really good but a cordial relationship. I believe the dad is also there, but we don't get to really know him in this episode. We're gonna get to know more of him later on based on some of the previews that we were looking at. So they come in now, everybody greet each other, they say a prayer. They have a table set up with some cakes and stuff, and it is in honor of all of the people who are celebrating birthday that month. I believe it's January, and also I believe Frank, the patriarch who passed away, January was his birthday as well, so they made sure that they included him in whatever was said. So, you know, everybody goes off into their little groups and stuff like that. We have Nicole talking to Jarmisha and Jakita. Okay, I'm getting it. And they're talking about the piece of property that's in the family, and you know that it's not a good idea to sell it because the way that Houston is growing so quickly that people are going to start branching out because the city is going to get too full, and that piece of property, they could put something on it like residential properties and be able to make it a turnaround. So yeah, all right, let's go talk to grandma about it. They go over to grandma and you're asking her, you know, what are you planning to do with that piece of, I believe that it's about 2.1 acres. And she's like, what are you planning to do with that? We want to keep it in the family. What grandma want to do with it is she wants to sell it, the property. There's nothing on it right now. It's just clear land. She wants to sell it, and with the money she gets, she wants to pay off all of the mortgages for her children, not the grandchildren, her children. And I believe it's a total of 4 or 5 of her kids she wants to pay off their mortgage. So she purchased the property for $72,000 back in the day. It is now appraised at $865,000. And with the profit, if they sell, it would be $793,000. So almost $1 million in equity. And the generation 2 kids want to be able to put residential properties on it and make it rentable, because they feel that they could get $9 to $10 million worth of profit out of putting apartments on there or houses on there. It's 2.1 acres. I'm thinking it's apartments because 2 acres you could only put about 4 houses. You know, it's big, but it's not that big. But so I'm thinking they're thinking either residential properties like apartment building or businesses. But it makes sense to put residential properties on there. You get more of a bang for your buck. So they go in and they're talking to grandma. Of course, the house is full, so everybody's hearing it. And at one point, we have Nikki, who is Oscarine's daughter. I believe that is Jaquita's mom. I'm not sure who her daughter is. I'm still trying to figure that out. She puts a stop to the conversation. She's like, this is not the place for this. Let's go in and let's eat, let's drink, let's be happy, and we'll bring this up another day, because this is not the area where we want to talk about this. And it could turn into an argument, because now you have the 2-3 generations are in the same room. Of course, when generation 1 hear that, my mom want to pay off my house, they may want to push it along to have that done. Generation 2 want to keep making sure the property keep churning money and bringing an income. And generation 1 are like, but see, so Nikki put a stop to all of that. She put a stop. She's like, let's talk about this another time. So they continue just enjoying their family time. And then we ended that scene right there. Before they ended, they also talk about the photo shoot, when they're gonna do it, where they're gonna do it. The dress code is elegant black. Make sure you come in black. Everybody's asking Nicole, where is your husband, girl? He's never at any function. And then we see a little snippet of Nicole having a conversation with her husband Larry. And from what I could take from the conversation, she's saying that it doesn't make any sense for both of us to be in the same house and not talk to each other. And Larry was like, and it's kind of too late in my life to start over. And Nicole was like, well, it's not too late for me to start over. So I'm getting from that Larry stepped out. There's some tension in the marriage. And Nicole is still deciding if she wants to be with her husband. I think the family knows what happened. And for him not to face them, Larry just don't come around. He doesn't work with the family. He doesn't want to work with the family. And he doesn't come around. She said that they don't spend a lot of time together because of his job. He's gone 2 weeks on, 2 weeks at home. And even when he's home, they really don't spend no time together. So, but they do have a child together. So maybe that's why they're still together. They have a 7-year-old daughter, I believe. Maybe that's why they're still together. But there is tension between Nicole and her husband, Larry. I believe the family knows about it. Nobody's going to talk to her about it because she's not going to be receptive. And like Jaquita said, Nicole wants everybody to believe that she has everything in order, her whole life is in order, and don't ask her no questions about it. So yeah, so that's where we are with the family having dinner. No, there's one more thing that happened at the family dinner. So Nicole tells Chris that he needs to come into the office more, and Chris is like, well, you kicked me out, so why you want me in the office? Then she goes in to explain that when Chris comes into the office, because he's a content creator, all of these real estate agents want him to create content for them for their Facebook page and for their Instagram account so they could advertise their services. So with that, now they say that he comes in and he's a distraction, and people are not getting their work done. But if they're talking to him about content creation, how are they not getting their work done? Because as you know, as a real estate agent, when you're in the office, you need to be on that phone doing prospecting, making calls, making sure that you're following up on clients that you have dealt with. You have to make sure you check the website to see if anybody is inquiring about any properties, wanting to sell. There's a lot of work that goes into when you're in the office. You constantly got to be doing something. So with him in the office, when he comes in, she feels that nothing is getting done. So he's like, all right, you kicked me out, so I'm gonna stay away. Yeah, but she's like, no, you need to come in the office more. You're getting paid to be in the office and doing your job. You need to be there more. And he's like, yeah, but when I do come in and I give you my ideas, you're shooting it down. You need to stop doing that. Yeah, we need to collaborate more. And that also you have to understand that I'm building my brand and I need to do stuff for myself. So that was him and Nicole going back and forth for a little bit with the other with the other sister cousins listening in and giving their opinion. Like I said, they went in, they talked to Granny about the property, they thanked her. Granny told everybody she's proud of them. And they talked about the piece of property. Some wants to keep it in the family. Granny just want to sell it to pay off the homes of all her children. I guess, before she leaves us, and she wants to make sure all her kids are good. Now we see Nicole. She is a co-CEO of Braden Realty, and she is pulling up and she's about to show a home for sale. She is about to show it to Dr. Solange, who is a surgeon in Houston. And Dr. Solange wants a luxury home, but she does not want to pay so much for the luxury home. No, not to say that. I'm lying. She has an idea of what she wants. She has an idea in mind what she wants, and she refused to settle. The only drawback to this is she loves the home that is being shown to her, this particular house. But the only drawback is that it's more than an hour away from where she works. And she said, she needs to be able to get to work a little bit quicker. She's a surgeon. Most surgeons need to be in the hospital ready to go by at least 5 or 6 a.m. because most surgeries are done early in the morning. If she has an emergency, she needs to be able to get to the hospital quickly. But to Nicole's point, she said if you want this type of luxury closer to the hospital, you're going to be paying double the price. So she's like, all right, we're going to put in an offer on this one, but I am not going to be paying what they're asking. I want it for a lot less because I have a price that I have in mind. Take this offer to them, and if it doesn't work, then we have to continue looking. So that's where we left Nicole and her client, Dr. Solange. Hopefully she does get it for the price that she wants, and if she feels that, it's too far away for her to drive, can you just hire a driver or something to get you to work? And I'm guessing there's also a lot of traffic. I've never been to Houston, Texas. Don't know what the traffic pattern is like, but I'm assuming like most major cities, traffic is crazy early morning and late evening. So let's see. Maybe she doesn't even go for that one. She would probably have to settle for the price that she wants for like an apartment, a luxury apartment in the city closer to the hospital. So I guess we're going to follow up and see if it goes through, because this is what the show is about. It's about real estate and relationships. All right, so we leave those two ladies there. Now we have Jaquita, Jermisha, and Aunt Nikki. They're meeting up because in North Texas, because they're gonna go look at the property, the 2.15 acre property. And according to Jaquita and Jermisha, they want Auntie Nikki closer to them and in their corner, because Auntie Nikki is the power of attorney for Grandma Oscarine, and if they bring her over to their side and their way of thinking, then they might get their way. But remember, Aunt Nikki is part of Generation 1, and what Mr. Oscarine wants to do is sell the property to pay off the mortgages for all of the Generation 1 children. But after bringing Aunt Nikki over to the property and explaining to her, we could put at least 50 doors here. So that's why I'm thinking they're going to put multi-units there. They're like, Houston is growing. Aunt Nikki sees this. And people, once it gets full, is going to start branching out into the suburbs. And we're going to be ready and, ready for them. They said that none of the money to build the units will come out of anything having to do with the business, because of the equity that is in the land. She paid $72,000. It's worth $865. So all 793 equity can be used to build the multi-unit apartments, which makes sense. And I'm sure they're probably gonna have money left over in order to put back into the business. And then on top of that, now we're also gonna have generating income. We have income coming in from these units, and according to the ladies, the taxes on the property is pretty hefty, $32,000 a year. Of course, That's quite a lot of money to be paying into something that's not producing any income. So it pretty much makes sense. There's a for sale property. There's a for sale sign on the property. So I think grandma has decided on what she's gonna do. If they can convince her to keep it in the family, then they'll take away the sign. So we left the ladies there talking about that, and Nikki said she will talk to her mom about it, and she also scolded the two girls because she told them that, something like that should not have been brought up at the family function. She said she told them, don't bring that up in front of everybody because it could cause tension. Let's do it more discreetly. So that's where we left them. Now we have the day of the photo shoot. Everyone shows up in their black. Everyone looks so nice. Like I said, everybody looks so beautiful. They do the headshots. They do the group shots. Majority of the agents did show up. One thing I noticed is that Lakeisha was not in the photo. She was actually helping Chris coordinate and do everything with the photo. So I am wondering, what is her role in the agency? Is she not an agent? Is she part of the marketing team? I guess we're gonna find out later on down the line what she actually does for the family. But it kind of made me feel a way that she wasn't in it after she was saying that she kind of feel like the black sheep of the family. I wanted to see her in part of the photo shoot. But they did the photo. Everybody looked great. They got it done. Then again, we have Nicole and Chris talking about coming into the office. So he's like, you know what? At this point, I'm going to need to create a contract with you guys because I cannot have you monopolizing my time like this. Or something to that effect, he said. He didn't say exactly like that, but that's what I took from it. And they were okay with that. One thing I noticed, though, is when he and Nicole started talking, and then we have Jarmisha come over, and then we have Jaquita come over. Jaquita made sure that she went, and she stood next to her man, and she put her hand on his shoulders like, y'all are my sister cousins, but this is my husband, and I got to stand by his side. That's what I took from that stance. So yeah, he said we're going to do a contract so that we could figure it out, because I am a creative and I need to be able to do what I got to do. And I'm sensitive about no, he didn't say all of that. That's me saying that. But that's what I took from the conversation. It seems like Nicole wants to control everything that he's doing. And he's like, I'm not going to allow you to do that. I need to be able to be in control of what I'm making. He said, we keep clashing on ideas. You come to the table with something, I come to the table with something, but then you keep shooting down what I bring. So he's kind of frustrated. If he's supposed to be a creative content creator, why can't he do what he wants? It must be her way at all times. So she's making it known, I'm the boss. Yes, you may be my sister's husband. Yes, you may be part of the team. But we hire you to do something and you're going to do what we say. That's what I took away from that. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, let me know. If you watched it, let me know. So now we have the final scene of this episode. We are at Jaquita's house. Jaquita is having everybody over for crawfish and beer. We have her there with Jarmisha at first. They're kiki and having fun. Then we have Lakeisha come in. And then she's telling a story about when Lakeisha was younger and she got upset how she was running away, and she took all the food out the fridge. And when they found her, she was down the block by the mailbox. She didn't even go far. And they laughed about that. And they also talked about the wall that they see that she builds up when Nicole comes around. Like there is a wall between those two sisters, and they're gonna work on breaking down the wall. So now we see Nicole comes in, and you just feel the whole mood in the room changes. You see Lakeisha, she crossed her arms. Even though Nicole comes and sit right down next to her, she's like turned away from Nicole. Some stuff went down when they were younger. And Lakeisha still remembers it, and so does Nicole. And it's not their fault, that their father put them in this position where he was stepping out, and I'm assuming Nicole's mother, and poor Lakeisha is feeling the brunt of it. So they were sitting there talking. Nicole comes in and tell her, girl, have a beer. She's like, I don't want no beer. I want some, what's that alcohol? She's like, champagne, or what's the other one? Prosecco. And the girls were like, who drinks Prosecco with crawfish? We all know the combination is crawfish and beer. She's like, well, I want some Prosecco. So they talked about that for a little while. They talked about how the photo shoot went. Nicole wasn't happy with the look on her face. She said she looked too serious, and they were teaching her how to do the smile, then lift the eyebrow, and then relax your face, and that's how you have your serious face that don't look so serious. They tried it. They had a laugh about that. And then they mentioned something about the wall being up between the two girls. Nicole got upset. She's like, by now the ladies have quite a bit of liquor in them, so they're laughing, kiki and whatever. But Nicole, who just came and just started drinking, didn't find it funny, and she asked them to stop making fun of, the fact that her and Lakeisha have a kind of tension between them. They kept laughing, but I think it was just the alcohol. But then she got upset as she left and tell them, take the mic off of me. And then, of course, with that happening, the mood in the room is like down the drain. And that is where the episode ended. So yeah, guys, I am into the show. I like the positive vibes, the positive vibration, as they would say, that the show is given. Yes, we have a little bit of tension going on. We have some people clashing. We're going to get to know more about them. But the overall gist of the show, I am into it. I believe this is what we were trying to get from Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Carlos. And it went off into a whole different location. But you're redeeming yourself with this show. You're redeeming yourself with this show. I like it. Family Empire Houston. I will be watching at least the first season and see if it take me into the second season. Yes, I will come back and review episode 2. So we finally get to meet the Bradens. This show comes on the OWN network on Friday night at 8 p.m. But of course, I don't watch it on the OWN network. I'm sorry, y'all. I watch it on Philo. And I'm going to leave the link below for you to sign up to Philo, which is $25 a month. And you get this channel and others. Oh, no. I can't do all these streaming channels and the cable network at the same time. Go broke doing all this. So therefore, that is why I use Philo. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope I have described or reviewed this first episode well. If you are interested in more of these reviews, reality TV reviews from this show, Family Empire Houston, and other reality TV show reviews, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you are into entertainment news, entertainment gossip, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you're interested in learning how to do entrepreneurship, make sure that you go and subscribe to this channel. Check out all the links below in the description. And until next time, guys, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.